What lies beyond? A Platonic dialogue before birth. In the manner of the ancient dialogues, I present to you a conversation between two souls awaiting their entrance into the world, a discourse on existence, belief, and the nature of reality beyond that which is known. Within the sacred chamber of creation, where life forms in darkness before emerging into light, two beings dwelled in the warmth of their mother's womb. They had grown together for many moons, their awareness expanding as their bodies took shape. On this day, as they floated in their aqueous realm, one stirred and addressed the other. "My companion," spoke the first, whom we shall call Skepticos, "have you contemplated what awaits us beyond this existence?" The second, whom we shall name Pistikos, shifted slightly, causing ripples in their shared waters. "Beyond? What do you mean by beyond?" "I speak of the end of our time here," replied Skepticos. "Our lives span 9 months, do they not? What happens when this time concludes?" Pistikos was silent for a moment, considering. "Nothing happens, I would think. This is all there is. Our existence begins and ends here in this warm darkness. But does it not seem strange to you," persisted Skepticos, "that we have limbs that serve no purpose? These legs that grow stronger each day, could they not be meant for something more than merely pushing against these walls?" "You speak foolishness," said Pistikos. "Our legs are merely features of our form, nothing more. What purpose could they possibly serve beyond occasional stretching in our confined space?" "I have been pondering," said Skepticos. "What if our legs are meant for walking? What if there's a vast space beyond these walls where we might move freely?" Pistikos laughed, a gentle vibration that passed between them. "Walking? What manner of fantasy is this? No one moves except by floating here in this fluid. Walking is impossible. And what of this vast space you imagine? No one has ever seen it. This darkness, this warmth, this is the entirety of existence." "And what of the light?" asked Skepticos. "These glimpses we occasionally perceive, could they not suggest a greater illumination beyond our current perception? More light than these faint glimmers?" "Impossible," declared Pistikos. "If such a thing existed, would we not already perceive it?" "No, my friend. What you suggest defies the nature of reality as we know it, on nourishment and existence." Skepticos was not deterred. "Consider our nourishment. We receive it through the cord that connects us to the source of life," interrupted Pistikos. "Yes, this is known. But what if," Skepticos continued, "there is another way to be nourished? What if these mouths we have formed could themselves receive sustenance?" Pistikos was growing impatient. "Now you truly speak nonsense. We feed through our umbilical cords. This is the only way. When these cords cease to function, our existence ends. This is the way of things. But if that were true," reasoned Skepticos, "then why develop mouths at all? Why form these intricate passageways for air and substance if they serve no purpose?" "Perhaps they have no purpose," said Pistikos. "Not everything in nature must have a purpose. Or perhaps," suggested Skepticos, "they're designed for a reality we have yet to experience." They floated in silence for a time, each absorbed in their own thoughts. Then Skepticos spoke again, more tentatively this time. "I have heard whispers, rumors passed among the forming souls." "What rumors?" asked Pistikos, curiosity temporarily overcoming skepticism. "That there exists a being called Mother, that she is the one who carries us, who provides the warmth and nourishment that sustains us. That we might meet her." Pistikos was incredulous. "Meet Mother? You cannot be serious. If this mother existed, where is she? Why can we not see her or touch her? Perhaps, said Skepticos, we cannot see her because she is beyond our current perception. Perhaps she encompasses us so completely that we cannot observe her from our position within. Listen to yourself, said Pistikos. You speak of invisible beings, of worlds beyond worlds, of purposes we cannot verify. Where is your evidence? What soul has ever left this place and returned to tell of what lies beyond? None, admitted Skepticos. And yet nothing, said Pistikos firmly. We must base our beliefs on what we can observe, on what we know to be true. All else is mere speculation, the idle fantasies of a developing mind. As they debated, something began to happen. The walls that had surrounded them for so long began to shift and contract. The comfortable darkness that had been their home became suddenly constrained. What is happening? Cried Pistikos in alarm. The world is collapsing. Skepticos, too, felt the pressure but remained calm. Perhaps, they said, this is the beginning of the change I spoke of. No, insisted Pistikos, fear evident in their being. This is the end, the collapse of all things. Our existence concludes. The pressure increased. Their shared chamber grew smaller. The fluid that had cushioned them began to recede. I am afraid, confessed Pistikos. As am I, said Skepticos. But consider, what if this fear is not the fear of ending, but the fear of beginning? Beginning what? A new mode of existence. A transformation, the passage. The contractions continued, rhythmic and powerful. The two found themselves being pressed against an opening that had not existed before, or perhaps had always existed but never been revealed. We are being expelled from existence, cried Pistikos. This is death approaching, or birth, suggested Skepticos. What if all we have known is merely preparation? What if we are about to emerge into a greater reality? The pressure became overwhelming. Skepticos, who had been positioned closer to the newly formed passage, felt themselves being pushed through. Farewell, my friend, they called the Pistikos. Whatever awaits us, end or beginning, know that our dialogue has enriched my existence. Wait, cried Pistikos. Do not leave me. But the forces at work were beyond their control. Skepticos felt themselves stretching, compressing, moving through a narrow channel toward an unknown destination. There was pain, confusion, a sense of devastating loss as all that had been familiar fell away. And then light, blinding, overwhelming light, and cold beyond imagining, and noise, chaotic, meaningless noise. Skepticos gasped, a new sensation, air filling lungs that had never known air before. The new world. Hands lifted Skepticos, hands, a concept previously unknown, and placed the newly born upon a warm surface. Through blurred vision, Skepticos beheld a face, large, complex, radiating a presence that was both strange and somehow deeply familiar. Welcome to the world, little one, said a voice, speaking words that Skepticos somehow understood despite never having heard language before. And Skepticos knew, with a certainty that transcended reason, that this was Mother, not merely a fantasy or an abstraction, but a real being, one who had carried them, nourished them, and now welcomed them into this vast new reality. Shortly after, Pistikos too emerged, screaming in protest at the shock of the new environment. The two who had debated in darkness were placed side by side in light, their bodies touching, a continuation of their connection in this strange new context. And so it is with us who debate the nature of existence and what might lie beyond the boundaries of our known world. We are as children in the womb, reasoning from limited experience, unable to conceive of the vastness that awaits. We dismiss as impossible that which merely exceeds our current understanding. We demand evidence of realities that may be, by their very nature, beyond our present capacity to perceive. Some, like Pisticos, find security in certainty, in defining the limits of the possible based on current knowledge. Others, like Skepticos, sense that our present condition is but a prelude, that the very features of our existence, our capacity for wonder, our yearning for meaning, our ability to conceive of transcendence, hint at realities beyond our present comprehension. Neither perspective can be definitively proven within the confines of our current existence. The transition from one mode of being to another remains, for each soul, a journey that must be undertaken alone, a passage through the narrow gate that connects world to world, state to state. Yet perhaps, in the shock of emergence, in the first breath of a new reality, the soul discovers that what seemed like the end was merely a beginning, that what appeared to be darkness was merely the absence of a light too bright for developing eyes to bear, and that what was dismissed as impossible was, in fact, the truest reality of all. For is not the greater miracle here, not that consciousness might persist beyond the dissolution of the body, but that consciousness exists at all, not that we might transcend this reality, but that we are here to contemplate transcendence in the first place? These are the questions that guide the philosophical mind, from the conversations of unborn souls to the dialogues of the academy. In asking them, we prepare ourselves, if not for answers, then at least for wonder. And perhaps wonder, more than certainty, is what the soul ultimately requires for its journey.